So yeah, I haven't been drugged down a gopher hole or dried up and blowed away. Yeah, sorry I haven't posted a video for a couple of weeks. Super busy. As you can see, this is this new quarter that we just sowed this spring. As you can see, the hay is there, but that's literally not what this is here, and the Sudan grass really didn't amount to anything. There's maybe 5% of it was actually cuttable. What you're seeing out here is wild oats, volunteer oats, canola, and all another sundry weeds. But there's bales, and that's kind of what matters most at this point, because we are in an absolute drought. There has been no recordable moisture for a long time. I think I was explaining to somebody, since the middle of October last year till this point this year, we've had almost 4.5 inches of actual rain. So yeah, almost a year. Yeah, because that's at August. We are now 2nd of August, I think it is. And this is what we're dealing with now, is the smoke from up north and from out west is, oh, it's out of focus. Which the saving grace is, it's actually cooling things down. Cows are in the big bottom pasture now, so they've got food for a wee while. The ones up in the yard, they are being fed at the moment, because the pastures have literally just quit. They've just quit growing altogether. And the hoppers, of course you're not going to see any here because this is kind of bare ground, but I guarantee you take a walk over into that grass there, that's just moving with them. So yeah, it's not good. But I'll put it this way, we have it a heck of a lot better than a lot of people out there. Because basically, off of this field here, and that bottom field there that we cut in an earlier video, and it's now got a second cut, almost ready for cutting, but there's a chance of rain coming up at the end of this week. Everybody do a rain dance for us. And that's the corn and Sudan silage. It's coming on. There's bits of it that are not great, like barely cover the top of your boots, not great. But half of the field's really good. Quarter of the field's and then quarter of the field's absolutely no use. So there will be insurance claims on that. There'll be insurance claims on this too, because we insure the Sudan grass as well. But like I said, you can see the alfalfa is pretty well everywhere, but it was all short. It was all underneath this stuff. But in the odd spots where it's heavy soil, the Sudan grass kind of came up and was cuttable, but that's minimal. So yeah, so what's been going on? Trying to think. The last video I uploaded was the week before the big move. So this is, as today is Monday, so a week ago last Saturday, we drove my parents to the airport and put them on a plane to move them back to Scotland for good. They're retired, they're out of the game, they're no longer in the farming world. So yeah, that's bon voyage. So between trying to get this done and emptying everything else that's in their house before the new owners took over, because they're trying to get it ready to rent it out to somebody, yeah, it's been full bore, full go. They've got a cattle trailer sitting in our driveway full of stuff. Trucks and cars were full of stuff. They've all been moved into the house, so the house is now full of stuff. And then we're storing everything else in a shipping container in the yard that you've probably seen in some videos. So yeah, it's kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of weird. I've never lived away from my parents before. My oldest brother has, because when we emigrated here to Canada 25 years ago, he'll probably correct me on this, 26 or 27, when his whole family up and moved to Canada. But he'd already moved out on his own. He was married at that point. But yeah, I've always lived with or near my parents, and now they're not in the same country, so yeah, it's kind of weird. But it's also coinciding with farming completely on our own, myself and my wife, Mrs. Piper Doug, as you will sometimes see down in the comment section there. Oh, knocked her out of focus. So yeah. So like I said, there's a big learning curve. It's very odd, this whole upheaval, sorting through all their stuff. They're no longer here. There is still a whole bunch of business stuff to figure out. That's never no mind. But yeah, there's a lot of accounts and farming stuff to close out, because there was still some big family farming still going on at the start of this year. There was some contracts still being filled, so yeah, this year will still be a bit of a hodgepodge. We kind of knew that this year was going to be an absolute mess to deal with, between closing that out and starting this up and trying to get our thing up and running. But yeah, so it's like I said, that's kind of one of the reasons why I just took a couple of weeks away from the videos to do this and to concentrate on all of this stuff. Like I said, I had to finish hay in this field. We were hoping to sell some hay, but we're probably not going to sell a whole heck of a lot. I've got about 3 semi-loads going out of the door to help a special somebody. And I sold a semi-load of highway hay to somebody, a neighbor, but apart from that, can't let any more go, because this field here did not come up like I thought it would. Like we're gonna be looking at around about 300 bales off of this field, and this field at full potential, you know, going by the first field that we did away over there, and this is 160 acres, so there should really be about 600 bales, over 600 bales come off of this field. And like I said, it's going to be lucky to do 300. And not great quality feed, but feed nonetheless. So like I said, I can't complain. We have feed, and we'll be having extra for carryover or for emergency cases. So there's that. So yeah, between the end of an era for the family farm and then changing over to this, and yeah, anybody that's watching this video from the area, I would just like to say a really big heartfelt thank you for the well wishes to my mum and dad for retirement and for moving back. There was 1 or 2 local businesses that did actually reach out and thanked my family for their patronage for their business throughout the years. There was some rather large businesses that are noticeably absent from that list, but that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, so yeah, a big thank you to everybody that came to the Bon Voyage gatherings that we had, shared a few drinks, shared a few memories. That was rather nice. But so yeah, onwards and upwards. My parents, we took them to the airport. As we had checked out all of the websites, government websites, they had been tested for COVID. They had all the paperwork all done. Get to the airport, and the guy at the desk said, "Nope, you need an extra thing." And we were like, "Well, we weren't told anything about this." "Well, you need it. You needed this lab report." Well, nobody had told us, even the estate agent whose job it is to notify everybody of that. Missed that huge deal, which if it hadn't been for Mrs. Piper Doug and her fast thinking fingers, we might have been turning around and bringing them back home and having to buy a whole new set of tickets to try and get them out of the country. But thanks to technology, she phoned the lab and got them to email the reports, or whatever you want to call it, the results, through to her phone, and then she could show the guy at the desk on her phone the lab reports, because they had 2 done to be extra safe. So yeah, there was a lot of people who were not so lucky that were having a hard time figuring out what the heck they were gonna do. So yeah, if you are heading to another country during this pandemic, you will want to check every absolute loop and hoop you have to jump through to make sure to get there safe and sound. Because like I said, the estate agent who's job it is and was paid quite well for these tickets never caught that, and the government website didn't catch it, so not great. But I digress. After all the kerfuffle, there was hardly any time for goodbyes, tearies or whatever, and so yeah, took them to the gate, and while my dad was trying to lug his cases, and my mum was in a wheelchair because she's not as strong as she used to be as far as standing around for an hour waiting for paperwork, so they get wheelchairs just to get them through the airport quicker, but nobody came and helped them. They basically just stood there and waved them through, and 3 of them stood there and watched them trying to fight with their cases in a wheelchair. So I was rather, excuse my language, pissed right off about that one. Winnipeg Airport, you can suck it. Anyway, yeah, they got on the plane and they were plain sailing from there on in, all the way over to, they went to Toronto, they went to Heathrow, and then they went to Glasgow, and my oldest brother was there to meet them off the plane, even though technically he wasn't supposed to be anywhere near them, but for government purposes he was nowhere near them. So yeah, now they're quarantining in their new place at Turnberry. So yeah, they're enjoying a little bit of relaxation after such a hectic time to get wrapped up here and to get packed up and to get out of the country. So I'm sure they're breathing a sigh of relief and enjoying that sunset over the Ailsa Craig or the Mull of Kintyre out on the west, on the off the shore there. Oh, I'm jealous of that right now, I tell you. But so yeah, here we are. This is where we're at. I am getting this baled up as it matures out from when I cut it. I've got until Wednesday for sure to get this all baled and baled. I'd like to get it baled and hauled out of here just in case we do get a rain, because if we do, then this stuff should get up and rolling here. Yeah, if you look at that, that's what happens when grasshoppers and gophers are eating the grass but not the alfalfa. But the cows will get this in a little while. And like I said, there'll be a second cut on that first field over there. So there'll be that to look forward to. So hopefully I'll get back to some regular videoing from here on in. But just figured I would beg forgiveness. Get a video up here just to let you all know I'm still here. And like I said, if anyone wants to do any rain dances, bring it on. I'll pipe a jig for you. So it's from me, Big Blue, and the Green Demon. See you in the next video. Tatty bye.